What issue of the 20th century has had the greatest global impact on world history? World War II. And what do we think? In the 20th century, World War II had the greatest impact across the globe due to millions of casualties, the development and use of highly advanced weapons and technologies, and the mass genocide of the Jews. Our first impact is weapons. This is the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb was the deadliest weapon created in World War II because it could destroy cities and kill over 60,000 in a split second. The atomic bomb was thought to be the weapon that ended the war. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber dropped the first deployed atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima in Japan. The bomb immediately destroyed the city and killed 80,000 people upon impact, later killing thousands more due to radiation exposure. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, another bomb was dropped on the city of Nagasaki. This one killed about 40,000 people upon impact. On August 15, 1945, the Emperor of Japan, Hirohito, announced unconditional surrender in World War II through a radio address. The next weapon is the MG-42. The MG-42 was a submachine gun that lacked range but could spew out lots of bullets and was developed by Nazi Germany. It was primarily used by German soldiers and replaced the earlier MG-34. The gun helped the Germans outclass other countries in their weaponry. The last weapon is the submarine. Submarines were considered one of the most deadly naval weapons because these made it so countries could attack their enemies from below the water. On June 21, 1942, the Japanese submarine I-25 was able to enter U.S. coastal waters because they were technically invisible to the U.S. military. Commander Meiji of Japan ordered the deck gun crew to open fire on Fort Stevens' Battery Russell, and though there was not much damage done to the fort, this attack helped create the 1942 West Coast invasion scare. Our second impact is genocide. Because of the terms against Germany in the Treaty of Versailles after World War I, Germany's nationalists and war veterans saw this as a humiliation towards their country. One of these nationalists was Adolf Hitler. He was a key player in genocide because of what he did to the Jewish community. Hitler's ideology was that the Jewish community was responsible for the downfall of Germany because of their success at the end of World War I. Hitler became the leader of Germany's Nazi Party and gained enough support that he was given position as Chancellor by the President of Germany at the time, Paul von Hindenburg. Hitler began abusing his power as Chancellor and started passing laws that boycotted the Jews. Once Hindenburg died, Hitler and his Nazi Party took full control of Germany and started mass executions of anyone seen as unfit or non-Aryan. Hitler called his plan of exterminating all of the Jewish community in all of Europe the final solution, and it was carried out in 2 stages. The first stage was to enforce racism to remove Jews from German society, and sometime later to deport all of the Jews to ghettos to further separate them from German society. This also made it convenient for mass extermination of the Jewish population later. The second stage was to deport all of the Jews to 6 different extermination camps. These camps put Jews under extreme labor and starved them. Many were also gassed upon arrival. Approximately 3 million Jews were killed by these extermination camps, and another 3 million were killed by shootings, disease, starvation, and random acts of terror. The killing of the Jews became known as the Holocaust. Our third impact is millions of casualties. World War II was the deadliest military conflict in terms of casualties. Over 80 million people were killed throughout the war, roughly 3% of the world population at the time. About 55 million were civilians dying from war-related diseases or famine, and 25 million died in combat deaths. Africa had a total of 11,900 civilian and military deaths. In East Asia, China had a total of 20 million deaths, Japan had a total of 2.6 to 3.1 million deaths, and Korea had a total of 378,000 to 473,000 deaths. In South Asia, India had a total of 1.5 to 2.5 million deaths. In Southeast Asia, Singapore had a total of 50,000 deaths. Russia, or the Soviet Union, had a total of 24 million deaths. In Europe, France had a total of 567,600 deaths. Germany had a total of 6.6 million to 8.8 million deaths. Italy had a total of 457,000 deaths. The Netherlands had a total of 301,000 deaths, and Poland had a total of 5.6 million deaths. In North America, the US had a total of 418,500 deaths, and Canada had a total of 45,400 deaths. In South America, Papua New Guinea had a total of 15,000 deaths, and Brazil had a total of 2,000 deaths. In the Middle East, Syria had a total of 6,352 deaths.